Hey guys, welcome to the 2 a.m. pipe on the patio from the barn edition. Smoking my Peterson 314, and in it, smoking Milan's Jefferson Street. So I spent Tuesday through Friday, pretty much. Let me get some lights going here. Hey guys, now we got some light in here. So, been working past Tuesday through Friday. I came out here and this barn was just, it was a catch-all for everybody's stuff. And Sadie's and Channing's grandmother had passed away a while back, and they inherited a bunch of her things, and it all wound up in here for storage. And then, and it just got put on just in the middle of the barn. It just got set down there. And then Sadie's wedding, this was before they got married. And Sadie's wedding came along, and we were busy with that. And after the wedding, everything, all the decorations, all the glasses, the plates, we had bought all that stuff, so all of that wound up in here as well, and just kind of in boxes everywhere. Luckily, I got all the chairs and the tables and everything that we wound up buying for that. It was down in one of the sheds in the back part of the property. And that didn't wind up in here. So there was no room for me to move in here. You opened up there's a regular door, and then there's a barn door here. I'd come in the regular door, and I couldn't walk in. I had to come this way and open the barn doors to get into the place. And I could only move my tractors in and out right here. I had this little space right here for my two tractors, my tractor and my Craftsman lawnmower, riding mower. That was all the space I had. I couldn't use any part of this barn for anything else. And I kept asking Sadie and Channing to come on over and help me get their stuff up on the shelves, and so we could put it away where it would be safe. And when they're so busy, they've got their own lives. And so I just decided I'm gonna do it. So I got out here and I just started going through things. And turns out there were a lot of empty boxes out here. I don't know where they all came from, but there were a lot of empty boxes, which I think is something that my wife inherited from her mom and dad. Because I cleaned out their garage one time, and it was literally to the ceiling in their garage. And there was a little pathway to the washer and the dryer, and there was a refrigerator, and Denny's dad had a aeronautics business. He built airplanes, and I forget what kind of airplanes they called them, but you didn't need a license to fly them. They were experimental aircraft, and he would build experimental aircraft, and but he also worked on regular planes for people down at the airport. He had a shop down at Brown Field in San Diego. So he had tools, I mean, everywhere in his garage. So I started cleaning out the garage. Her dad had had several strokes, couldn't work anymore. So I started working on the garage, and I started at the door on the side of the garage, where you couldn't get in the garage any other way. Well, unless you opened the door, but then it was just a wall of stuff. So I started going through, and there were just empty boxes to the ceiling in this garage. And I was thinking it was stuff, you know. So I started hauling out these empty boxes, and I would find, stuff. There was stuff in there too, but about a third of the way in, I find a snap-on welder amongst a bunch of other tools. Well, I keep going, and about another third of the way into the garage, I found another snap-on welder. By the time I got to the wall, there was another snap-on welder. So he had bought 3 snap-on welders because he couldn't find the first one he bought, because it was just behind all this other stuff. So he bought a new one, and he couldn't find that one, so he went and bought another one. So he had 3 snap-on welders. He thought they had been stolen. Somebody had stolen one of his big rolling tool chests out of the garage at some point. So he thought that he had lost those as well. They were all there, just couldn't find them. Well, he had tools upon tools upon tools upon tools in that garage. And he had a really big, huge Craftsman rolling tool chest. I mean, a big one, big, the biggest one they made. So I got all his tools in that tool chest that the hand tools, labeled the drawers on it. I had all his tools in there laid out perfectly by size, and it was just, it was beautiful when I was done with it. It was just, he came out and he was just shaking his head like, I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you got all my tools in my box, and it looks beautiful. It's never looked like that. And he was looking around at the garage, and all his tools were, all his big, his 3 welders, and all of everything he had, his compressors and everything were all lined up all around the edge of the garage. I'd put all the stuff, his hand power tools were up on the the shelves, and he just stood in there and he just looked at everything, and he was just like, he couldn't believe he had all this stuff, But anyway, so I think Denny picked that, saving the empty boxes up for Mom and Dad, because there was a ton of empty boxes in here. So once I got those out of the way, I had a little bit of room, so I could start moving stuff around, and so I started getting all of Sadie's grandma's stuff, Sadie's Janning's grandma's stuff they inherited. Started getting that up on the shelves. got the table up against the wall, the stand, the bottom of the table's in the corner, and then the chairs, which got them stacked. That gave me a bunch of room once those were out of the middle of the floor. And then I started working on the wedding stuff, which there was a lot of. And so I got that all, a lot of it was like half a box full of stuff and another half a box full of stuff. So I, got it all into one box and then put it under, wife has a table over here with all the wedding stuff on top of it. So I put those boxes under the table and more on top of the table so that all the wedding stuff was out of the way over here, which gave me a huge amount of room in here. So then I moved my tractor straight ahead, put the Craftsman mower over there, and put the push mower next to it, and the edger next to that. So those are all up in the front there, or the back of the barn. I got this here's my trailer that hooks onto the back of either one of it'll hook onto the Craftsman or the John Deere, so that I can, throw stuff, hook them up, and throw stuff in the back of this, and then it tips, and we'll dump out stuff. And so I got that up against the wall. I need to get another furniture dolly to put the snow blade on. And the snow blade will either go right behind me here or over against the wall over there. It depends on this cabinet. Or it can go up against the shelving over there. But I'll put that with the snow blade down, standing straight up, and then I can just chain it to the wall here so it doesn't fall over. And that'll be out of the way. And it'll get it out of the weather. So I'm pretty excited about things. And hooked up lighting out here, so I've got lighting out here now. I've got some electrical for power tools, things like that if I want to use them. This had electrical before we moved in. Just before we moved in, the city came out and put a new drop for the electric in here, and they disconnected the electrical to this building. And the guy who built this place, and it was his granddaughter who sold us the place. So it had been 3 generations that had lived here. The guy who built it, he was an electrician. And he, I have a feeling that it was probably illegally hooked up to the electric out in the back. He probably did a direct hookup to the electric out there. And that's why they disconnected it. And they told the people who were living here they'd have to get an electrician out here to rehook it up. So I have a feeling that's why it was not rehooked up when they put the drop in. So it wasn't going through the box of the house. It was just direct to the drop out here. So to get it done, you have to done properly. I have to get an electrician out here and have him rehook everything up to be able to really use it properly. But I was able to get some electrical out to it, and not run afoul of the city. Well, it's nice to have light, I'll tell you that. That makes a huge difference out here. Yeah, I love this Jefferson Street. Man, that's some nice stuff. It's very much reminds me, not exactly like it, but in that realm of I hate to say this, but it kind of reminds me of that Captain Black kind of a thing, that Lane 1Q kind of, but it's got something else in it that's working that makes it just amazing. And but it's got that kind of smell. Well, that's what I'm talking about, is the smell of it, but the taste of it, it actually has some taste, which I love. But it'll be nice out here when it's raining and stuff to have this place to come and do videos. And I love sitting in the rain when it's raining and smoking my pipe, and I can do that out here with the doors open and the rain falling, and I can do my videos, or I can close the doors and do the videos because I got light out here. However I want to do it. And if the wind's blowing real bad, I can close up the doors. But man, I love having this done. It's not completely done, but I love having it done enough that I can come out here, sit, smoke a pipe, I've got my jar of Jefferson Street and a jar of Crooner out here. Those will be my barn blends. We need to go get some more Jefferson Street. I'm almost out of that. Well, let me show you the cabinet thing here that we got that would be so great for my tobaccos. So this is the inside of the cupboard. This is the inside of the door. As you can see, the jars would fit in there perfectly. And then you've got inside here, and this opens up, and of course there's more space on this side, floor to ceiling. You've got double in here, and then these actually open, and you have more on this side. And then in the back, you've got shelves that go in. There are, looks like 9 shelves that you can put in back here. Plus 2 shelves up here. So I can have another 9 shelves back here. Got these little clips that go in there. This thing would be awesome for my tobacco jars. It would just fit perfectly in there. I could even do, I believe, these larger ones. Even the larger ones would fit in there. This would be absolutely perfect for my tobacco. Not gonna happen. Oh well. So Denny wants it for canned goods, and then in the back cupboards behind it, she'll put like box goods and stuff like that in the back part, which we need. We need more storage for stuff in the house, but it's a cool little cabinet. It would be awesome for my jarred tobacco. Someday it'll wind up with me, I know it will. But for now, until we get the kitchen remodeled and stuff, this is gonna be Denny's. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. I just wanted to share the barn with you, and that cupboard. I love that cupboard. It would make a great tobacco cabinet. We'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. God bless.